Nakamura! My name is Sage Blake. I'm a wanderer, storyteller, artist and mature, and this time on Sage After, I actually don't have a complaint about the window size this time, because it came up too fucking big. Wait a second. Anyway, this is BuKnight, the Order of the Golden Crest. Here's the thing about this one. Technically we've actually covered this game already, but due to the quality being so absolutely trousers when Flash did it last time, I axed the footage. And trust me when I say, the quality was absolute pants. Like, not worth showing in the slightest. Bright side, this time we actually have something that looks somewhat passable. Now I need to figure out my controls. Right, this is why I'm at them. Why is this slow? This is a lot slower than what Flash's footage showed. No. Anyway, this is BuKnight. Essentially, think of it as a platformer. Hack and slash type platformer. Yeah, something has to be wrong, because I just took a look at the seconds, and it's definitely not showing at the speed it should be. It's definitely going slower. Something's wrong. Grievously. And that's weird, because I'm not exactly using a gaming PC per se, well, an A-list gaming PC, I should say. But even still, this thing has handled quite a bit, and this is really slug. Something's wrong. Either with the optimization, or otherwise... What the... Why? Why is this blank? Okay, whatever. Yeah, like, something has to be off with the optimization, considering it's going so slowly. Either that, or something's up with... Nah, no, the program that I'm using? I'm genuinely curious as to what's going on now, because it isn't supposed to be going this slowly. I'm sure it isn't supposed to be going this slowly. And again, if you look very carefully up at the top, it's taking about 2 seconds for a single in-game second to process, and it shouldn't be like that. Hold on a moment. Okay, so I did some additional looking around, and according to the accompanying Word document, well, I say Word document, it's a text document, rather, the creator recognizes the issue, which is a good thing. However, I also want to address the 4 potential causes that they outline within that document. The first is they mentioned that potentially something to do with how Game Maker Studio just deals with sleep mode might be the issue. I have no idea. Second, they also mention that one of the potential causes could simply be VSync. I'm curious as to how visual sync is something that would cause that much of an issue for a 2D game like this, but hey, whatever. I'm not experienced with coding, so I can't exactly postulate, let alone predict what might or might not be an issue. The third item I can bring up, apparently someone got this game to run at regular speed by running the game as an administrator. I'm doing that right now, and it's done jack. So I can definitely say that's not something I could do. Which leads to the fourth and final one, bad coding. I understand that. This is the Sonic and Amateur Games Expo after all. I don't expect every single person who submits an entry to be firing on all cylinders. That's just inefficient of me. Let alone impractical, because, again, it's in the name. Sonic and Amateur Games Expo. A good chunk of the time, people who submit entries to the expo are just starting out. They want some feedback, and usually the expo is a good place to do that. Because then there are people like me who decide, oh hey, let's play as many entries as possible, and see just how good or not as good the entries are. Yeep! It sucks that it's kinda unoptimized, but I can make do. Chances are, in post-production, I'll, like, I don't know, speed up the footage a little bit, do some clever editing. Also, I think I found a bug. I think I found a pretty big bug. Because, one, I can mash the attack button and jump around, and I'm not supposed to be able to. Ah! So that means a switch for the cutscene isn't working properly. Because I'm definitely loaded back at the checkpoint that I was at, but... Slash. Sorry, Wolf. You know what you did. Actually, this also proves my point. Like, I am approximately, I want to say, halfway through the stage right now. And we're having this lag issue. That means that far too much of the stage is being loaded at any point in time. Either the stage was made way too big, or the creator hasn't set some code to unload certain resources at certain points within the stage. I don't exactly know how you would do that within GameMaker, but it's a potential fix that could work, just to make sure that frame rate and general game flow is at the speed it should be. Because again, I remember seeing Flash take a look at this game during the April Fool's stage after, and it was working at a proper speed. Whee! Oh, there's actually wind to deal with this time. I don't remember seeing that in the other footage. Cool. But yeah, as for how this game operates, it's a bit Genesis, because you have 4 buttons to move around, standard shtick, but it's only a 3-button game. You have a jump, you have an attack, and you have a special item. Ow. How did I not notice that claptrap right there? I'm a dummy. But yeah, again, it's jump, attack, and spinny. Good so far. I have no idea what that is, but I'll pick it up anyway. This game's also interesting in at least a few different respects. It's like it's trying to emulate old Genesis classics, which I'm all for, honestly. Considering, well, we live in a supposed modern era where we don't really have a need for a password system, but even then, sometimes you feel nostalgic for the type of thing. Jeez, rude. There we go. But yeah, scattered about, you can find pieces of paper with passwords to not just load you into future parts of the game, and at that you'll also get passwords for general progress. Yay! You could also find this. We're good. You can also find slips of paper every so often that are specifically used to just tell you a password. Earlier on in the stage, we saw one of those papers that had a password like, "I want to see it." That one is a debug cheat. So if at any point you just wanted to mess around with the game, that's how you do that. Yee! General maneuverability is really nice once the frame rate actually gets up. It's very fast. The problem is getting to that point because gotta unload that many resources. Rude! You know what? You could stay. Done. As for the mechanics that are within the game, I've already mentioned the 3 attack buttons. If you hit up and attack, you can kinda get a double jump by performing an uppercut. The uppercut is very useful for not just traversal, but also for giving you more spare energy. Because every so often you could find blue crystals and pick them up. Crap. The blue crystals will add on a special energy beam to your attacks, giving you some extra range and damage ability. Teasing! Yet another, bug that probably should be resolved. If you're cheeky, you can skip the boss fight. That's not gonna lead to a problem for Carrotia, will it? Definitely not. Definitely not. Nor will the slowdown. Oh no. Well, on the bright side, I have more to think about in between taking and giving a licking. But yeah, the blue crystals that you can pick up. They'll give you an extra aug to your physical attack. They're generally very useful. Please pick them up. Yeep! Try again. In tandem with that, you will get more crystal energy across the board the higher your health is, which is a cool concept. Music's nice to listen to. It definitely gives off that SNES Genesis vibe. Definitely leans a little into Mega Man X almost. You know? And a carrot a day is the next password. Actually, come to think of it, I think I could do a bit of cheesing here. There we go. Ow. Better. Doesn't seem like you lose too much crystal energy if you take too much damage, which is a good thing. Ah. we go. Seriously? Rude. Holy crap, the slowdown. I might want that health. Let's go back down and pick that up. Yee! There we go. Chop you to pieces. I don't remember these barricades being in the original when Flash was playing he was playing at the, I believe it was like 2019 or 2020 build. Probably 2020, knowing all things Sage after. Eat that. Alright, I think it's starting to pick up speed a little bit. Slightly. Again, slightly. I just had a revelation. Wait, hold on. These fans. That is a noticeable speed boost. I think I might have found one of the causes of the issue. These fans. They're coded in such a way that they produce not just that they produce wind, right? There's a physical graphic in front of it to show that, which is good. But due to that graphic and the fan having a constant animation that plays, I think it might be causing a bit of the slowdown. What? What happened with my... Okay, whatever. I'll just accept fate. That part of the bridge unloads. The stage gets faster. Yeah, officially. It's just too many it's just too many sprites and animations that are being processed at a given point in time. If some of them were unloaded, or otherwise if stages were chunked down to be pieces, if that makes sense. An example I could give is with Freedom Planet, actually. Because, if you'll notice, the stages in that game are fairly meaty. Even if you know what you're doing, then you can sure get through most of them within like 10 minutes, 15 minutes apiece. But here's the thing. If all of those bits and pieces were placed into a stage and the entire stage loaded, it would cause a lot of slowdown with how many active things were being worked with and worried about. That's why the creators chunked it down into pieces. Usually like 3 little hemi-acts per stage. Granted, old Genesis and SNES games don't do this as often, but the moments they do it, it's fairly noticeable. Sonic 3 actually does this kind of with, what's its nuts? Pyramid area. Sandy area. Was it Sendopolis? You catch my drift. That area. Because one part of the stage takes place in the outdoors. Then you go into a ruin at some point, and then things get chunked down. And even if that doesn't apply, then I could still give the Shinobi games as an example. Sure, it's not exactly noticeable, especially in Shinobi 1, but there is some unloading that's going on. If it's not on screen, then we pretend it doesn't exist. We make it so that the engine that's running all the code and whatnot pretends it doesn't exist. And the game runs at a consistent frame rate because of that. There's less slowdown to worry about. I won't say there's no slowdown, because sometimes they can be pretty resource-intensive. I'm looking at you, Gunstar. But regardless... Actually, Gunstar's yet another case, because Black's silly dice maze... Every single one of those events are compartmentalized within their own room to load and unload. If you're not within one of those rooms, you don't have to worry about it. It physically doesn't exist. Or, sorry, functionally doesn't exist. It does exist in the game, just not within your purview, and you don't have to worry about it.
Destroyed! 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 Worthless consumer models!
Cripes, these CPUs.
Destroyed! 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 Steep grade!
You're being a little dumb there, madam. Or sir. If only rabbits knew how to jump. Yeah. Nice shooting with that. Nice shooting with that, but unfortunately for you, not gonna help. There we go. Think you can handle yourself, Bunny Guard?
Scheduled maintenance.
Let's hope.
Overdue.
Nope. Good. Don't need to worry about the health sitch. Would be nice to have some more crystal energy, just in case. There we go. Yeah, it's the fans. The fans have way too many graphics and animations tied to them that are active at any point in time, so that's causing the slowdown. I'm noticing that every time I take one out, then things get a little faster. So that might be the cause of your concerns. There we go. Actually, at that, I'm curious if any of these, if any of the soldiers despawn after a point. Chances are they don't either, which that's also going to be another thing that should probably be taken care of. Because having all these bodies just exist in the world is going to be resource intensive. It may cause some slowdown. If they were if they stayed around for at least a few seconds and then slowly unloaded. As I had an animation where they like slowly faded off and then unloaded. Then unloaded from the game when they hit 100% transparency. That would help solve an issue. Or, if not immediately solve it, then at least contribute to it. Contribute to solving it.
Destroyed. Power save off.
Because again,
Full
majority of the issue
mode
is caused simply by the fans, and them having so many graphics tied to them. That mage is going to town. Chewed. And I am drastically running out of health. Oh no. I could do with a carrot. Carrot, please. I could do with a snack. Oh, thank you. Crystallized carrot. Maybe it's sugar crystals. Just a thought. Ah! Chew you. I guess another thing I can mention is, it doesn't feel like there's too much of a benefit to taking out enemies right now. Other than removing a threat. And That's not exactly a good thing. It makes it so that it feels like your big objective really is to ignore as many enemies as possible, and that's not exactly knightly, if that makes sense. You done? Ah! Damn it. Oh no, and this means I'm gonna have to deal with the lag issue now. Because the moment you die, all the switches reset, and that means everything goes back to the way it was when the stage first loaded. Oh, this is going to be a painful fight. Editing me, you know how to take care of this. Triple speed, please. Done. Huh. But yeah, unfortunately, that boss, which would probably be a very tense and charged experience, kind of becomes boring because of just how much slowdown exists. When the game is normally supposed to be very fast-paced, and everything is moving at like a third of the speed, suddenly you have a lot of time to think, suddenly you have a lot of time to react, suddenly you have a lot of time to process the world, and everything becomes a cakewalk. Whee! Ah! It's fine. Go forth, young BuKnight. For king and country. We require you to pick up sigils, I guess? I do like this kind of storytelling where it's show don't tell. And they're immediately concerned. Oh, that's the end of the demo. But yeah, the current passwords that I've found. A carrot a day will take you to the start of Carrotia, essentially skipping half of the game. As for the other password, which would have been the first you would have picked up, debug mode. Debug mode will let you see all of the hitboxes, hurt boxes, analyze frame data. And actually, see what types of tiles the area is made up of. This is kind of cool. Especially useful for the developers, since... Since it lets them see precisely how to structure things, how to ensure that balance is in existence. I'm only gonna go through the first couple stages like this, don't worry, and it will only be in pieces. Okay, so these archers do in fact have a sight vector with an approximate range. That's cool. but it seems like they still have those sight vectors active once they've been felled. A simple switch to disengage that part of the code would help a bit for optimization too. Huh, I didn't even know the secret passage was here. There's something cool. Not sure what that is. But picking it up was at least some semblance of importance because the game is hastened back up again. Cripes. Ow! Rude! Who pegged me? Actually, I think I have an idea. You. Thank you. You died for me. Alright. So let's actually give this boss a proper challenge. Whew! 7, 8, 9, 10, 11... I was about to say, could you get up, please? It's starting to get a little too easy. Ow! Double ow. Don't get so aggro, me. Ow. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ah! I chose a bad time to attack. Oh well. Unfortunately, this means we go back to Lag Central. Oh no, wait. It's not unplayably laggy. It's just slow. Yep. Ow. Come on. You definitely have to be on your last legs. Actually, that's another thing that might be useful too. I understand it if part of the appeal is, oh hey, we don't want to show the boss's HP bar. But if it takes so many attacks to whittle them down, you may need to. Just so the player actually has enough information to go on. Boss fights are a give and take between not just the boss themselves, but also the player. The player has a certain amount of information about what they can do, how they can do it. The boss has information about what attacks they can perform, and also what their own weaknesses are. In order for the player to actually feel like they're doing something in the boss fight, there needs to be feedback. And sure, there is feedback here, with the boss taking steady damage, with the boss having small amounts of damage done to their sprite. But at the same rate, while that is some type of feedback, in the heat of battle, it's barely noticeable, if at all. Besides that, having a proper boss HUD would also be an opportunity to do some additional world building too. Mind you, the game doesn't exactly need that. It's already done its world building, and quite well. But it would also, add for an opportunity to play around with the world a little bit. Like, say, these guys that we're fighting are obviously criminals, right? So what if they had a bounty on their heads, and there was an amount for that bounty? That type of thing, you know? Little fluff details to give the game a little character. I mean, it's already... Ow! It's already channeling a bit of Mega Man and a bit of Sonic in terms of its gameplay feedback. Feedback, what? In terms of its gameplay, I mean. It's a fast-paced hack-and-slasher, kind of like Mega Man Zero. Yeah, Mega Man Zero, actually. If you know what you're doing in that game, you can... It feels really fun and really frantic. If anything, I could actually argue that this game would be more frantic than that. If it were optimized. That'll come in time, don't worry. But yeah, with that said and done, I want to mention the following. I like the graphics, I like its style, I like its presentation. Its gameplay is good, and rather has the potential to be good. But there needs to be some optimization in terms of how it handles its actors. Too much is being loaded at a time, I want to say, might be the issue. And if I'm wrong on that, so be it. I'm sorry. I'm just pointing at one potential issue that could be the reason why it's being so slow. Which, again, the creator has recognized, but just trying to be helpful, that's all. Other than that, gameplay is fairly solid. Its art style is really nice to look at. It's across the board pretty good. I'll keep this on my radar. Who knows? Maybe it'll develop to be something. Maybe it'll develop to be something even weirder or greater than what we're seeing right now, which already is fairly solid. But with all things settled, I think it's about time I return to my void. Then again, Tadaki, ne?